6 titles are coming to Stadia Pro for the month of October, a new feature is currently rolling out, and the Stadia storefront's adding a new category for retro games. We'll be breaking down the latest in Stadia news, so let's get to it. We're going to kick things off by talking about the games coming to Stadia Pro at the beginning of next month. This includes Arcade Paradise, Drawful 2, Slaycation Paradise, Tangle Tower, Looking for Aliens, and the Addams Family Mansion of Mayhem. All in all, a pretty diverse lineup. Not one that I'm particularly excited about myself. The 2 highlights for me definitely go to Arcade Paradise and Slaycation Paradise. But I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't disappointed that we only get Drawful 2 instead of the Jackbox collection that actually contains that game within it. And while I'm sure some people are excited for Tangle Tower and Looking for Aliens, it's the niche of point and click that I'm not too interested in myself. Lastly, you have the platforming title, The Addams Family Mansion of Mayhem, but it's definitely a game aimed at a younger audience. Which is by no means a bad thing, because it's important to include titles like that for families who play on Stadia. Let me know what you think though. Do these Stadia titles live up to your expectations? Are you happy with the offering? You've heard my take, so be sure to share yours down below. Next up, let's talk about a new feature that's currently rolling out to Stadia users. Have you recently shared a cool clip or captured a nice screenshot? Well, now community members will be able to react to your clip or screenshot whenever shared. This is simply done by going to the Explore tab, seeing what the community is sharing, and then selecting your reaction to it. It's a very simple yet nice quality of life addition that should have been there from the very start. Regardless, it's cool to see it here because it does give you feedback on what you share, but more importantly, it helps build the Stadia community to feel more together and cohesive while also bringing a feature along that is expected by most social media nowadays. Like I said, it's not a huge addition, but I do think it's a very good one to include. Now let's move over to the new category being added to the Stadia Store library, and it's for retro games. As of right now, that category includes 6 titles, and they're all from the Atari Recharge series. You have Asteroids, Black Widow, Breakout, Centipede, Gravitar, and Yars Recharged. What I find particularly interesting about this though is that these games have always had the subcategory of arcade games. The inclusion of the retro category definitely has me thinking we're going to start seeing some more older titles get ported to Stadia. And honestly, I wouldn't be too opposed to it. I think retro games are a pretty cool thing to have, and when services that are competing with Stadia like Amazon Luna have a retro channel, it starts to make a lot more sense that Stadia may want to include retro games of their own. I know some people might be upset at the thought of old games being ported to Stadia, especially since it's cloud hardware and why would you waste power on that, but I'm not particularly against it. These titles mean a lot to a lot of people out there, and cloud gaming just introduces a whole new way to experience those titles wherever you go. I'm more than willing to admit it's a bit of a niche category, but so are point and click adventures, so are family titles. While they may not be for me, I'm not against them being brought over to Stadia alongside other games. It does beg the question though, will we only be seeing remasters of retro games being added, or will we see some of the retro titles themselves? Let me know what retro games you would be down to play on Stadia. While that does cover most of the big news shared on the latest This Week on Stadia blog post, I will be going over some of the smaller updates they also included as well. As discussed earlier this week, you can now set 1440p as the target resolution you want Stadia to run at. The platform has always supported the resolution, but now you can actually set it as a limit, so if you're playing on a 4K monitor, you can actually experience Stadia at 1440p if you choose to do so. Following that, we have an update that DreamWorks Dragons Legends of the Nine Realms, which is a family-friendly title, will be dropping on Stadia September 23rd. They also shared that there are over 160 games that you can try out on Stadia through trials. That includes games like Hitman, Pixel Junk Raiders, Moonlighter, Epistory, Nanotel, Submerged Hidden Depths, and A Place for the Unwilling. And to wrap things up, they made sure to point out that Ubisoft Plus's promotion is still active until October 10th. You can try out Ubisoft Plus and experience all the titles on Stadia for free until that day. It's a really sweet deal that applies to new customers, but also those who have unsubscribed from Ubisoft Plus in the past. Taking everything into account, it's actually been a pretty good This Week on Stadia blog post. We have 2 new features, multiple games coming to Stadia Pro, and the new category in the Stadia storefront should point toward more games coming soon. The thing I'm most excited for is being able to play Arcade Paradise on Stadia Pro, but let me know your thoughts. Are you happy with this week's news? If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As a quick reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to join our community Discord. I would love to have you there. It's the best place to reach me and keep up to date with everything I do. Link to it is in the description below. Feel free to join. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.